We're live.
Welcome back to the show. We're here once again in the studio for Trail Talk.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, baby.
We made it.
We somehow made it work. So we're just hydrating here in the studio, and we've got a jam-packed show for you this week. So welcome back with Matt Feldake, and we got Bryce Brooks over here. We're going to be talking about Aravaipa Running updates in the first part of the show. Then we're going to move into Western State story time. And then we've got a new segment. I don't know what we're calling it yet, but it is like random grab bag reactions. And you haven't looked at any of this stuff. I found them all, and I've forgotten everything I found. So
you're going to get my real raw reaction to, I think, like 99% of the things.
There are going to be bodies flipping and rolling downhill in slow motion, chasing cheese wheels, from what I've heard. That was a Bryce Brooks find, so stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to watch that part of the show. And we're going to close things out with our Q&A that we do each week. So if you have any questions for the three of us, having to do with anything in the sport, any topic we talk about, or anything Aravaipa or running related, just please ask it. You can drop your comments anytime. We'll try and weave them into the show. So,
yep, just go ahead and drop your comments in the live chat there. Bryce will be able to pull those up on screen for us as well as they come through, and we'll either get to them right away or we'll get to them at the end of the show, hopefully.
Yeah, so I'm pumped for this format. It's going to be I think it's going to be a fun journey. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's awesome. I think it gives us direction as well, so our brains don't meander off into the forest of podcast land.
Oh my gosh, yes. So we're going to kick things off with our Western States stories.
Well,
so
we want to start with Aravaipa.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. Thanks for keeping me on track. Talk about agenda. So we had a doubleheader this weekend. We talked about it a little bit last week, and half our team was up in Colorado for the Durango Skyline, which I heard a few things about the race, but one thing I heard was that it was tougher than expected. And I was thinking, it's the San Juan Mountains. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the elevation profile and you can be easily deceived, right? Because there's not like an immense amount of total gain, but every foot is hard-earned, so...
Yeah, and like the iconic Skyline Trail, which is kind of the bread and butter, looked extremely technical, like a kind of a rock scramble. But I was shocked by the winning times of the 50 miler. I think William Mitchell, who I believe won the McDowell Mountain Frenzy 50 mile in a pretty good time. I think it took him 9:40. We should just pull some of these up. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up right away, but yeah, I'm going to go check it out real quick. So it was 9:40. I think the women's winning time was in the 14-hour range, which is just wild. So, yeah, William Mitchell, 9:20. And that is not a fast 50.
I think that just shows how tough the course was. You know, whether it be tough climbs or, techie sections, Definitely was a challenging day out there for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, he won the Silverton Alpine Marathon, the Silverton Alpine 50K last year in 4:21. So he is a super stout runner, and it just goes to show you.
The course is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, McDowell Mountain Frenzy 50 mile. He ran a 7:27 in 2014. I remember. That's a fast time. So it goes to show you it was a super tough day. So. But yeah, we will have some recap footage from that event probably coming out, I don't know, within the next month maybe.
Yeah, probably a few weeks.
So we had Dylan Harris up there. And then here in Arizona, we had the Jackrabbit Jubilee, which is playing here behind us. We did a surprise live stream. Some of you might have caught that. I was out there the whole time helping to direct that race. And it was a really fun time out there. This is a really unique place to hold a race, Nardini Manor, 500-meter track, and we had a good time out there.
Yeah,
you were in the chat.
I was in the chat until my little eyes couldn't stay awake anymore. But yeah, it was a good time. The chat was pretty active, which was cool, especially for an impromptu live stream. It seemed like people liked it. We did have a request in the chat, I recall, asking if we were going to do a live stream for ATY.
I mean, this is a good proof of concept for it. So I think we'll probably definitely live stream the rest of the Nardini series, and I don't see why we wouldn't do at least portions of ATY, if not the whole time. I mean, this is mostly the view you're going to see here. You're just going to see people looping through. I was able to jump on for some commentary. I think, more commentary would probably make it more engaging for the viewers if we had a couple people maybe on site that were able to just chit chat back and forth about what's going on. But yeah, overall it was a good time. So, and yeah, the fun doesn't stop. So we got another double header this weekend.
Header, technically.
Technically, yeah. There is in Flagstaff, which you will maybe be in attendance or might stop by.
I'll be at off and on throughout the Saturday.
Sweet. So we've got the Big Pine Blackout Weekend, which there's going to be a great turnout for that one this year. Camping in the Pines, perfect time to get away from Phoenix because it's supposed to be, I think, 115 here. So June comes and it's like summer kind of smacks you in the face.
I think it's going to be hot up in Flag as well.
Like in the 90s probably?
I don't know the exact temperature, but it looked hot.
So
monsoon season hasn't arrived yet. So
no, it's like just before. And I feel like we've been lucky. There haven't really been a lot. I should knock on some wood real quick. Where's all the wood? Like too many more forest fires. It seems like it's been pretty quiet since before Cocodona, like the last month. But man.
Yeah, I mean, Coconino County or National Forest is in a stage 2 fire ban. So I think that is probably helped.
It must have
just
helped.
Like limiting a lot of like fires and camping.
Yeah, most
and
people
like
are
that.
not even going to try it, so that's great. And then the inaugural Ring the Springs is going to be taking place in Colorado Springs. It's going to be a high of 88 up in Colorado Springs. I was thinking, dang. So both races, I think, are probably similar elevation for the start, at least. So it's going to be a warm weekend.
It's going to be
toasty.
It's going to be warm. Colorado Springs first 100-miler. First 100-mile foot race in the Springs.
That's right. So I'll be up at that one. I'm really looking forward to being out there and mixing it up with the Colorado crew. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to. There won't be live streams this weekend, so you'll have to just hang tight for any content. But we will be filming a lot out at Ring the Springs, that's for sure. So probably less at Big Pine this time around.
Yeah, I think you'll see probably more social content at Big Pine than you will like post-race film type stuff. So
nice. Do you have any other things going on with Aravaipa? We've got some merch drops coming in hot. So I don't know if you can switch to this view, but we do have. Do you want to explain what this is coming out with here?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a small run steep collection, 4th of July themed. So we'll have the shirt that Jamil has on. We'll have a classic Ram flag design,
which is my favorite. I haven't gotten one of those yet, but I'm very excited.
We'll have let's see, a couple stars print shirts that will also have classic Run Steep logos on them, and they'll all be available tomorrow by the end of the day.
Nice.
I don't know the exact time that they will go live, but they should be available tomorrow afternoon, and they will be limited quantities, so they'll only be available until we run out. But there will be a few additional shirts that will have prints on them as well. So
nice. Those will be available on mountainoutpost.com. And we also have a few select number of these Boko Run Steep Get High hats left. I'm just going to shout those out. They're probably going to go pretty quick once the word gets out on them a little bit more. So
yeah, we don't have a ton of those left in stock, but we do still have some available online and some that will be traveling with us to some of these upcoming in-person events as well. So yeah.
And I know I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, but I'm going to shout out. We just dropped a Jackrabbit Jubilee video as well. So there's some great like short interviews with some of the runners. So I just wanted to shout them out, like Jordan Camastro, who won the 6 hour with 40 miles this weekend. Andre Lee was talking about a lot of stuff as well. He's a prolific runner. We had Alyssa Jones. We didn't get her on camera. We were hoping to, but she was kind of elusive. But she won the 6 hour race with 38 miles, which I think made it onto the top 10 list for 6 hour running so far this year for ultra running. So shout out to those folks. Oh, and Jimmy Strayhorn won the 12-hour, 73.6 miles, and I think he's never mind. What was I going to say? I'm sorry. A lot in my brain right now. I think he's being coached by Scott Traer.
Oh, nice.
Like Run Fasta. So.
Oh, yeah, I did see him in the Run Fasta hat on the live stream.
Yeah, and Julisha Jones was our women's winner. I know she's been coming to these Nardini Series races for a long time and finally nabbed the win. I think she's been aiming for that for a while, so shout out to her. That's our Aravaipa update. I don't know if we have any comments or questions.
Wanted to point out Alyssa Jones took the course record for the 6-hour.
There we go. Nice.
Huge shout out to her. Just a month after crewing the Cocodona 250.
Yeah, and Josh returned the favor. He was out there.
Yep.
This weekend. So that's my Aravaipa update this week.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I have as well.
Oh, that's funny. These comments are popping up, but they're from the live stream.
They were throwing me off.
Not popping up on screen right now, so I'm not seeing those in real time.
The only other thing that would happen between now and our next Aravaipa Trail Talk is registration for Hypnosis night runs and rides. It's still open for until Monday. So closes Monday at midnight. Hypnosis will be not this Friday and Saturday, but the following.
Yes.
So the 17th and 18th, I believe.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a run in the Phoenix area, can't get out of town next weekend, or just want to stay a little bit closer to home but be part of that racing running community, we're going to have the runs and rides out there. And we did launch a group ride for Aravaipa Rides. Bryce, how did that go? You were out there last night.
I think it went really well. I mean, we had 10 people out there. Just kind of like an easy 1-hour ride. I enjoyed it.
How many runners would you say came out? Like that Monday night group run for Aravaipa is massive.
50, 60, up there. Yeah, it's a lot of folks.
Nice. So if you're in the Phoenix area, come on out, join us for either running or riding on trails every Monday. And the cool thing about the Monday ones, they always go to Fate Brewing in Tempe, half off pizzas. They got a great deal going there too. So it's good socializing as well. So, all right, well, let's maybe get to the meat of the show here, the Western States stories. Transition, That was my.
What do you got? What's your? In my mind, there are a lot of kind of stories to watch this year, from like the elite side to people returning from setbacks to age group or back of the packers or legends in the space. So what do you have your eye on, or what intrigues you kind of most about this year's Western States?
Yeah, I figure we would jump in. I didn't do as much research as I would have liked to before the show this week, but I figured this was a good time to kind of jumpstart the Western States conversation. I've seen a little bit leaking out, but it's still kind of early in the cycle. But I know we've got another topic next week, and then we'll probably do another dedicated Western States show like the week of, where we maybe really get into like predictions or something. But I think it kicked off for me looking at Andy Jones-Wilkins' article. And so, there was a couple things that caught my attention down towards the bottom. Like Megan Canfield is, one of the all-time greats at Western States. She's now 61. She's going to be going after the 60 and over record, which is just under 24 hours. It's currently held by Diana Fitzpatrick. She's the president of the board for Western States. So I think that's not Diana, but that's Lucy. She that'll be one to follow. Like, can she break that time? Like, she's probably not gonna be able to compete with the younger folks this year. But it's always to see how you stack up as you age up in the sport. And then another one would be Jim Howard. So have you seen this film, Desperate Dreams? Me neither. I don't know where we would find it. If someone out there knows,
do you think AJW has it on like VHS?
He might very well might
lend it to us.
Yeah, if we can get the rights to it, we should do like a live watch party or something. I don't know.
We should. That's a good idea.
We'd probably get busted. Who knows? It'd be super fun. But yeah, so in 1983, to set the stage, Jim Howard and Jim King, as far as my understanding goes, they had the closest finish in Western States history, first and second place. It was like 31 seconds or something separated them. So they're on the track at the same time. And I think Jim Howard won. He passed Jim King, I believe, in the final mile, like in the streets of Auburn. And he wasn't sure if he was going to respond or not. And when he came in and crossed the finish line and won the race, they said, Jim King is your winner. Oh, it looks like someone else is on the track. That must be Jim Howard, because the last word they got 3 or 4 miles before the finish from the radio guys was that Jim King was in the lead and he passed him with a mile to go. So that was kind of cool.
That's crazy. I feel like we definitely have to get our hands on that video.
We got to hunt that down. That's some lore right there. But there is a pretty cool interview with both of them from 2013 that's on iRunFar's YouTube channel. It's called Gym Fest, and it's both of them. It's an hour long. I didn't get to watch all of it, but they are recounting that race, and that's how I found out about some of those stories.
That's pretty cool.
That, if nothing else, I guess we could watch that. So I think so. He is coming back. So Jim Howard, where this is all going, is he is returning 44 years after his first Western States. It'll be his 5th one. He's now 67. He's got like 2 artificial knees, and so I think he's just going for that finish.
Yep.
So it'll be one to watch.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely going to be an exciting storyline to follow on race day. One of the big things that excites me about this race is the return of the Australian great Lucy Bartholomew, who you could see up in that picture just a little bit ago. So Lucy was 3rd at Western States in 2018. In her first Western States, I believe, had a rough go, ran really gutsy out in front that year, returned in 2019, had a tough go, finished 15th, has dealt with, some setbacks, things like that. It's coming back to Western States, and super excited to see how Lucy does. Same kind of concept with Casey Lichtig as well.
Yeah, I saw a post from Lucy and said she's like going all in on this thing. Like she's super fired up and wants to really put it all out on the line. So that'll be really interesting. Yeah, and for Casey, she's coming back from a pretty serious injury and even had another setback, I think a month ago. She ran a marathon and I think had to quit or limp it in or something. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah, I do. She ran a marathon, and then I believe it was after that she started to feel some more issues. Yeah. So
like high level with the race this year, just like who's coming back. We have 6 of the top 10 from last year on the female side. We're missing 1st, 3rd, 6th, 8th, and then on the men's side, we're missing M1. So Jim Walmsley will not be returning. That's a huge deal.
I think
that a little bit wide open.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think Jim not being here definitely leaves it pretty wide open for this year's race, which is exciting in my mind, right? As it feels like it could be anyone's race. You've got Tim Tollefson coming back after having a strong finish last year, but maybe not the overall performance that he felt he was capable of. The hometown kid, essentially, as well, like being from that area, stuff like that. So that'll be exciting to watch. But that men's race to me feels very wide open. A lot of newcomers to Western States this year as well, which I think is interesting of note. I believe AJW in his article said somewhere around 80% of the field was going to be first-time Western States participants, which is pretty
awesome.
cool.
I mean, as it should be. That's great. We've got – go ahead.
We got a couple relevant questions in the chat.
Great.
I'll bring them up real quick here. Let's see. Prediction for the silver legend Megan Canfield's finishing time.
I'm going to go with 22:59.
I'll take the under.
Okay. Under that?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. What else you got?
Let me see. Any intel on Trueheart? Seems like an unconventional buildup.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't remember his buildup for Black Canyon, but I think it was way more solid in terms of run related. It seems like he's been putting in monster miles on the bike, way more than running volume, that's for sure. I don't know if he's battling something or if this is just his strategy or if he got into Western States and just wants to experience the day. I'm really not sure. I don't think we've heard much about him since Black Canyon. Like, I think he probably went on maybe 1 or 2 podcasts, and then he's just kind of like stays right under that radar.
Yeah.
He also seems to do a lot of weight training as well, which might be maybe the key to his success, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But it seems like I would want to see more run volume from him if he's really going to do anything like he did at Black Canyon. That's just my 2 cents.
Got a couple more here. Jamil has run Western States once in 2010. Will he run it again?
I've been applying in the lottery for, I don't know, 6, 7 years again. So I took a few years of not even applying. So I think you'll see me on the start line again soon, in the next few years probably.
Right on. Let's see.
And just to circle back on the Trueheart conversation briefly, it does look like during some of his bigger weeks leading up to Black Canyon that he was doing quite a bit of cycling as well. But it's also hard to tell based on Strava, like what his total run volume was, right? Because
seems like it combines them. It's tougher.
Yeah, so like his peak week,
separate it.
His like peak week leading up to Black Canyon was like 177 total miles, but then he may have had three bikes in there, so he could still be running, fairly high volume and supplementing that with.
I mean, his volume between running and riding right now is like 250 miles, 21 and a half hours of training. I mean, that's enough. I'll tell you that much. If you're, I don't know, I think that would probably be enough. It's significantly higher volume than he did in any of his weeks leading up to Black Canyon. So I don't know. I may have to walk back what I said because that's some big volume. He's had 3 250-mile plus weeks. He had 26 hours of volume 3 weeks ago, and 5 weeks ago he had 23 and a half hours of volume. So I don't know. He's doing like a 50-mile ride, and he's also in the gym. I don't know. He has a bunch of runs called, maybe just a warm-up. It'll be interesting to see. He's certainly going to be a dark horse out there.
Yeah, I mean, his run volume is still decent. Like, even just at the end of May 30th, he did a 26.5-mile run with almost 4,000 feet of gain in 3 hours and 48 minutes. So he's getting these, big runs in and supplementing the aerobic work on the bike, it seems like. Still getting in 60, 70 miles of running in addition to 100-plus miles on the bike.
Yeah, like 66 miles of running and then 190 of biking. But yeah, I mean, that's going to keep you from getting beat up probably. And I don't know. I'm not a pro on this, but I would think like you hammer your legs on the bike. Like, is that going to be good enough for? Oh yeah, here we go. Is that going to be good? You can see his volume up there. I mean, look at those weeks leading up to June here. Like, I mean, he's been consistent. He took a little bit of down in May, but like going into Black Canyon, significantly less overall volume. That's running and riding together. So, yeah. But I would think like, is that going to condition? His quads are probably going to be pretty conditioned just from biking that much. Because you got to be able to handle those downhills.
Repetitive stress on like the skeletal system,
Could be something to it.
Who knows?
I mean, didn't Jim come off the bike last year and blow Western States away?
Didn't Jim have like a 6-week buildup?
He was like
Something
super.
crazy?
He was like really injured, and he was just on like Zwift all the time. And then he have like one of the best performances ever last year?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember at like the mile 89 aid station, he just like sat down to have a cold bevy with his crew.
Why not? So we have a lot of golden tickets got handed out this last year as well. So there are 22 golden ticket winners on the entrance list, kind of circling back to who's in the race. We've got quite a number of international athletes that utilized the golden ticket system. So some of those were won over in Europe. Some of them came here to win tickets. So it's kind of a mix of how people gained entry.
Camille Herron going to be back at Western States after an amazing performance at Javelina, and following that up with an incredible performance at Jackpot.
Yep. We had some overseas rollovers. That's why Lucy Bartholomew is back. We got Tom Owens, Cecilia Flory, who was a golden ticket winner from Black Canyon. That's probably her ticket rolled all the way to this year, maybe. So there's like even more golden ticket winners from like past years that are in the thing this year.
Because a lot of the international runners had their stuff roll over.
Well, Elsa McDonald also, it looks like, was probably one. And Sebastian Spieler, I think he was also, wasn't he a golden ticket winner? Why did he win? Man, it's tough to remember everything. Let's see, what else do we have? Cole Watson is a sponsor entry.
Oh, the classic Jim Walmsley route.
Because he was, what, third at Javelina, so one shy or fourth?
Oh, no, third. Right.
Yeah, he was one away from the ticket. And I wanted to touch on some injuries, too. So Ryan Montgomery pulled out. He was a golden ticket winner. So he's going to have to come back to another one. He has, I think, a plantar issue. Let's see. What else is interesting on the entrance list here?
Did I get a couple more questions that come in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How hot will it be at Western this year on other course conditions?
How hot will it be?
Yeah, and then I think they're asking, are there other course conditions? I saw their Twitter. They had put out, they're clearing lots of logs right now, like kind of the last few sections.
Yeah. It's not going to be a snow year, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure that's kind of melted out. I didn't see anything from the training run that was indicative of issues there. I don't know. I think it's a little too early to see what the temperatures are going to be, but I do think, what did I hear? I think I heard at least for the Southwest, we're going to see an increased monsoon activity this year, which will be great for us. But I don't know what that means for up there. We'll talk about that probably in 2 weeks. We'll have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I think race week will really be able to dial in what the conditions on race day are probably gonna look like.
What technology live stream advances could we expect for Western States 100?
Yeah, so the big one is Starlink RV edition. It sounds like they're probably going to have some of those out there. That could be game-changing for the live stream. So I don't want to give away – I'm not trying to give away anything, but I think that does exist now. They just released those. So I would think that the folks that are putting together the live stream have their eyes on it, as do we. So that could help to get some coverage between the start and – essentially like Michigan Bluff is kind of like where you can really get any service. I know when I was out there last year at Robinson Flat, I was one of the first people to arrive and I had cell phone coverage. Like I could get a couple photos sent out, but as soon as the masses start rolling in, it completely overwhelms the cell network, just like what happens to us at Javelina 100. And instantly you couldn't even get a text message out.
Interesting.
Classic.
I feel like that happens to me in traffic.
In traffic. As you're trying to upload your images in traffic?
Usually like Strava. Questions coming if you don't mind me just.
Oh yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Right on. This one's an interesting question. Is there a standard ratio to convert bike miles to run miles?
That's a good one. I mean, would you have any insights on that, Bryce? I mean, I always go by time. Like, time for me is like a pretty universal thing. I don't know. We didn't do that many miles in our ride last night.
No.
We also stopped a ton.
Yeah.
But we did like what, 5.5 miles in 50 minutes last night. It's like not much more than we would run.
Nope.
So
I think some of it depends on the type of biking too, right? Like if you're on an indoor trainer or on a road bike
versus mountain biking.
Yeah. So like in college, we would always use like roughly a 2.5 to 1 ratio. So it's like, oh, if you're beat up or injured and you would normally be doing a 9-mile run,
do
on
2.5 times of biking.
You might be doing
like easy biking or something.
Yeah, you might be doing like a 20 to 25 mile bike on the stationary bike.
Nice.
Which might be 75 or 90 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, so I would say just as a general guide, you go by time.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good. And that's why I was looking at True Heart's just time volume. I mean, that's up there with probably what like Jim or Killian would be doing, or Francois in their like peak weeks for any of their like highest level
like
training.
20 to 25,
24 to 26 hours. That is a lot of freaking training. I mean, if you ran 24 to 26, you might be like 170, I don't know, 160, 170 miles a week.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
With a decent amount of climbing.
Yeah.
If you're putting flat miles, you're in like Taggart Van Etten like 220 miles per week category. We should look at Andrew Glaze's volume in terms of like, I'll look that up, but you can ask the next question.
Is Ethan Green the favorite at Western?
Tyler Green?
I think that's what they mean.
Tyler Green, I think, would definitely be a favorite. I mean, he's going to be wearing that M2 bib, so
he got second last year, right?
He's going to definitely be having a target on his back for sure. Yeah, you got Tyler Green at M2, you got Drew Holman at M3, Cody Lind at 4, Tim Tollefson 5, Hayden Hawks at 8th, Kyle Curtin 9, and Alex Nichols 10. Alex Nichols, man, heck yes. Talk about flying under the radar. I mean, he went second at States before, so it's going to be a fun one to watch.
And he just had a good run at Jackpot earlier this year.
Yep.
I like this question. Thoughts on Arlen Glick from Ohio? He won Javelin 100, two-time winner, record holder of the longest running ultra in North American, the Mohican Trail 100, and has done some 24-hour races.
Got some Ohio fans in the chat.
Shout out to the Midwest.
Well, I mean, if you're asking about Arlen Glick, you know you're trying to plug, but don't sleep on Arlen, man. He seems like he is prepared. Did you see his Strava post?
No.
So we're just gonna basically stalk Strava real quick. Andrew Glaze, he's putting in like 30 to 40 hours. He's freaking nuts, dude. 34 hours of running in a week. Okay, dude. Okay, so Arlen Glick, sorry. I'm gonna pull up. He basically it was like the last day of his running. He went out to Western States training camp for like a week, the Memorial Weekend, and he did some other runs. Are you on his? Oh yeah, he's got the Deerfield repeats. So this is like his local hill in Ohio. It's like, yeah, check this thing out. So, you know, we're talking like 180 feet, 175 feet of climbing each time, and he just goes up and down. Do whatever it takes.
You know what we call that where I'm from? Midwest tough, Jamil. That's what we call that.
That's right, and it's probably super humid and hot. You know, he's like middle of the afternoon.
When he gets done, it looks like he just got out of the swimming pool. He's covered in bugs.
So let's go back. Probably go back a week. Yeah, let's go there, and then like his Tuesday or Wednesday run. Okay. One more. I think it's going to be this one. Cole Watson. All right, right here. Oh, maybe it was the one before that. That's probably a solid run. Maybe the one before. He basically said he just capped off some huge volume of training. Go all the way down, or was that the was that the first one? Oh, okay, got it. It's probably the first one in this week. Oh, right. Maybe it's this one. Go up one. Here. Could not be happier with the way I'm feeling right now after training camp. In spite of the peak volume, I feel well rested and practically like I'm tapering. I thought that was pretty solid. And what did he do this week?
Volume has gone down.
Well, because he was kind of talking
that
about
was
the weekend before.
155, yeah.
155, 23,000 feet of climb, almost 24 hours of running. And then the week before, kind of the one he just came off of was similar,
yeah.
the same thing. So, I mean, he's
1,000 feet.
He's putting in a lot of volume. He's now seen, I think he said, 85 miles of the Western States course, so he knows what's coming. It's just going to be fun to sit back and watch. It's going to be a good time.
I'm stoked.
How cool would it be to have a rainy Western States?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see the heat? You want to see the carnage, Bryce?
I'm all about the heat. I'm always about the heat.
Okay, I was going to point out, we're just talking about stories and things to talk about here. Youngest and oldest runners. So this year we have 3 runners who are 26 years old, Adam Peterman, Rod Farvard, and Lucy Bartholomew. And then our oldest is going to be Bruce Knowlton of Bend, Oregon. He is 70, and he got in off of 16 tickets. Leonard Martin, the infamous Leonard's Butt Slide of Barkley, he's 69 years old from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and he will be running this year. And then we have Jim Howard, who's 67. Our oldest female is Karen Lozano, and she is 63. And then Megan Canfield at 61. So there you go. Some extra stats for you.
Do you, by chance, know what the prize purse is for the 100? I heard the winner gets the previous winner's shoes.
I don't know if that's true. There's actually no prize purse for Western States 100.
All the glory.
There's a lot of glory involved, and I would say if you are an unsponsored athlete that happens to win Western States, you might gain a sponsorship out of it. It's happened before. A lot of runners, even Jim Walmsley, the first year he ran was I think he was sponsored by Dry Max socks and Squirrel's Nut Butter. And he's wearing a Addy Zero Boost or something. Then he got picked up by Hoka.
That was when he looked like a young Scott Jurek.
Yeah. Wearing the Cliff little hat.
Yep.
The other thing I wanted to touch on was Aravaipa Connection runners. Do you have any insights on that? And then Arizona connected runners. So
I think the 2 that pop in my mind are Pete Mortimer, who got in through the lottery, and Scott Trayer. So Pete Mortimer, Aravaipa Racing team member. Scott Trayer, assistant race director, got in through the golden ticket after crushing the Black Canyon 100K. So those are kind of the 2 that pop in my head right off the bat.
Trayer still claims himself from Woburn, Massachusetts.
Well, you still hear it in his voice, don't you?
You can't get rid of that. That's great. But there are quite a few Arizona runners, and we've just got some talented runners because quite a few golden ticket winners are in there. So we've got Jared Hazen, Tessa Chesser, also Aravaipa Racing team member. Cecilia Flori claims to be from Arizona at the moment, even though she's from Italy. Peter Mortimer. We've got Trueheart Brown. So a lot of Flagstaff. We've got 4 from Flagstaff right there. We got Adam Smith from Chandler, got in via the lottery, 8 tickets. Tyler Ford of Tucson is actually race admin entry. Renee Stevens, also of Tucson, she has gained entry via the lottery with 16 tickets. Diego Espinoza, who's a prolific Aravaipa local runner here in Phoenix. He got in via 32 tickets, so he's been applying for quite a while. That's it. That's our Arizona runners this year to watch out for. Any other questions? Otherwise, I think we should move on to our rapid round, or whatever we're calling it, bonus segments.
We'll have to come up with a good name. If anyone watching has any name suggestions for the upcoming segment, definitely let us know. We're open to suggestions.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for questions. So let's jump in here.
All right. So to preface this, we're going to have Bryce. I think you're going to run this part of the show. If that works for you. I'm putting you in the spot.
And I'm going to, these will definitely be my first reaction to almost
seen
everything.
Any of these? All right.
I think I've seen maybe one.
So what I tried to do was find out just like weird off-the-wall things that have to do with running that are like recent topics or things happening. So I was poring over all these different running Reddit groups, and that's where most of these came from. Also some Facebook groups, and there's some random grab bags in there. So whenever you're ready, if we can get them. Oh, yeah, he's got them all pulled up here. So do you want to kind of walk us through these, since I know you went through them all, didn't you?
Yeah, I went through them pretty good.
Perfect. So you describe what's happening here.
The joy I can see on Bryce's face right now.
So this is the first one that you put in there. The Costco cashier rocking the Alpha Flies.
If I saw that, I would have to go to that register. You got to know that he's at least 4% faster.
Would you also take the 4% faster? Would you also take the picture and post it to Reddit or Basecamp?
I would post it to Basecamp for sure.
Perfect.
And so if we dive a little bit deeper in the comments, they have.
Oh, you went deep on this one.
I
love
took
it.
a peek. So the original poster, he said he runs an hour a day, 3 hours on long weekend runs, and then stands 9 hours a day, 4 days a week. He has 3 pairs in his rotation, but it's the only shoe model he has. He only wears Alpha Flies. That's it.
Dude, Costco is a place to work, man.
I was going to say, shout out to Costco for paying their employees appropriately so they can afford Alpha Flies.
Absolutely. That is kind of incredible. I think Hoka has kind of become one of the go-to like comfy shoes for, I think, people that are standing a lot. Like even I think in like the nursing profession is like everywhere.
Huge nursing shoe.
But maybe they should look into the Alpha Flies.
Maybe?
I don't know.
Got to get that energy return.
Anyone who has to walk all day. I don't know. I guess you're walking. You're not walking that much as a cashier, are you?
Yeah, but think if you could improve your efficiency.
Yeah.
4%.
It's worth it.
Costco should start supplying these to their cashiers.
All right, next one up. Also, very fancy Nike shoes. At one point, my friend's Fly 4s that he still runs in every day.
What? This poor person.
This reminds me of my brother. Like, he would definitely be this person that is wearing them with like 1,500 miles on them. Does he run in a belt sander?
Well, first off, how do you still use those shoes? I don't understand.
Is it just down to it's like below the EVA? The EVA is like completely gone in some areas.
It's like you can see like
the insoles.
Yeah, basically. Like, look at that.
Like right there.
You can basically see the struggle board that would sit between the insole and the EVA.
It's interesting to see like people's different wear patterns too. I don't know what this particular one tells you about this person's stride, but it's got to tell you something.
It just tells me that he needs to buy shoes more often.
And I just realized this in this subreddit, Running Shoe Geeks, everybody has like the shoes that they wear listed underneath.
Oh my
their name.
gosh. Yep. It reminds me,
theirs.
I used to be into trucks, so like in the truck forums, people would have like their truck and then all their mods listed. This guy just says, I wear shoes. Because they're probably, would the barefoot people show up to this subreddit?
Probably not.
There's got to be one for them.
Probably not so many Luna sandals in here, maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No. They're anti this.
So this is a Duck runs a marathon, receives a well-earned medal. I don't know if the duck actually ran the marathon or if it like I don't understand completely.
Oh, that's a duck.
Yeah.
Look at him go. Oh, that was
Getting
awesome.
the Gatorade at the finish.
Does he have he has shoes on?
Oh my! It really is. Well, are you aware some people have indoor ducks and geese, and they have diapers they wear?
He must have been training every day at the Quack of Dawn.
There's a lot of puns in this comment section. They just
Oh,
keep
man.
going.
Yeah. This whole thing has me feeling pretty foul. Just the worst dad jokes.
So
ever.
they're indoor like ducks.
So people will have they'll have ducks as pets, and they keep them indoors, and they put diapers on them so they don't just shit everywhere. It's a thing.
Wait, did it have a diaper?
No, but I'm
Oh,
saying
got
this one might be a pet duck that when they're indoors wears a diaper. Because they also like they bring them with them everywhere. Like they'll put them in their car and have like a car basket for the duck, just like you would take your dog with you. It's a thing.
That was awesome.
We got our own chat making jokes now. He's a quack star. Like track star, he's a quack star.
That's what I'm talking about. Way to show up in the chat.
So next, recording a run on a cruise ship. And this I thought a lot about, actually. I'm on a cruise ship next week. They have a running track, top deck. So curious to see what it would look like on the GPS. He's actually wondering if it's going to give him a boost because the boat is moving while he's also running the track. So is he moving?
Records a lot more mileage via
Right.
GPS.
Right. That's the question.
Do we have like? Is there actually a follow-up?
I don't know that there. That's
Here's
what
mine. Not quite what you expected.
Where? Oh.
Okay, so probably not running 5.13. So I've seen this before, and I was looking up quite a few of these. There might be more people if you keep scrolling down. Like I think I've seen it where it's like becomes like a swirl as they're going because they're like doing laps around.
Maybe you have to zoom in for
Might
it.
have to be zoomed in, yeah.
I think so. But then also I think some like the GPS just like corrects for it. Yeah, it's no spirals, but they've got like wobbles or something. I don't know.
And I just saw a thing. It's like the Coast Guard when they do like search and rescue. They have like a grid that they're trying to search while the current's also moving. So their like tracking pattern just looks like this entire mess. So I imagine it'd be something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something weird to think about. Like, how does the moving chip affect the GPS track and all that? There's probably more if you keep going, but there's like quite a few. It's not as fun as you
Yeah,
think.
so I think because the cruise ship is moving so quickly,
It's like
that you're going to get like little wobbles, but it's mostly your GPS going to be moving in a fairly straight line because of how fast the ship is.
Well, anyways, maybe that one wasn't as exciting as the others. It is something to ponder.
Let's see. Yeah, I really like this one. This one made me laugh.
Let's see where it's the guy's tying a bottle on his foot.
What? Why?
Hey man, it's classic. It's classic content right there. There's just no words for it. Nike branded water bottles, man. That's the stuff.
So what are these?
They're $1,000 pair of looks like mountain bike tires were wrapped around your shoes.
Is that a Maxis shoe? Yeah.
Well, that actually looks similar to a shoe that we put out when I was at a previous employer.
You like this style?
I don't.
I mean,
That's $1,000.
if I could get my feet on them for less than $1,000, maybe I would want to try them out just for fun, but not at that price tag.
But they're Balenciagas.
Makes it all worth it.
I also pulled up this one. This is one of the shoes that I remember selling it when I was at REI. And I was
This is the 10-9. This is a
10-9.
classic.
This was the thing that kicked it all off in the running industry for brands
Well, there's
to
some good-
try new things.
There's
You
some
know,
good memes about this one. I think like your boy Scott Jurek or Hal Kernan or something was like just posted about these ones.
you know,
Has anyone out there tried this shoe? I still haven't, but did I share this one?
I believe so.
I don't know why
this
I
is-
shared this here, but it's a Cocodona tattoo.
and shout out to Jody Semino,
Yeah, exactly.
two-time
you.
finisher, right?
Thank you for getting a tattoo. Sounds right.
She finished the
Yeah.
inaugural year, right?
Yeah.
Maybe top 10-ish.
Yeah, no scars to commemorate this year, so I decided to get a tattoo instead.
Shout out to Jody. She her crew helped film her for the live stream.
Oh yeah,
so
love it.
they checked in from time to time.
Okay. You know what this one's all about?
A little bit. I think I'm a little echoey when I go on here, so I'm just gonna like kind of just like give like a short little thing and jump out.
Oh no.
But this is a corporate office for Little Tree air fresheners, and they have an air freshener shaped track right outside their office.
Dude, this is real.
This can't be real.
No, this is absolutely real.
Where are they
I looked
located?
this up. Can you type in
Can we go?
just type in like Little Tree Company. No, you just want to find their corporate headquarters. Little Trees, and then find about like where they're located. Their headquarters. So type in Little Trees, Watertown, New York into Google Maps. It's gonna blow your mind.
I think we need a company trip.
Like there should be an ultra, like a fixed time ultra at this place. Be incredible.
I mean, there should at least
'Kay.
be like a mountain outpost challenge or something.
And now what? Let's get it to the satellite view down here. Down here, the layers. Car
whatever you
Freshener
did.
Corporation. Wait, where is it?
Hey,
No, I swear it was
that
there.
does not look like
I
a tree.
swear it was there.
I'll tell you that.
Hold on, we gotta find. Maybe try like Bing or something. No, let's try. We gotta try something else. When was this taken? 2022. Oh man, I am now losing my mind. Can you go to Bing? Come on, Bing. Google Maps. What are you doing? When did this happen? Did they just install it? This is a new revelation. New York. Yes. Type in Watertown. And then there should be a satellite view somewhere.
I think it's up here.
Aerial. There it is. How crazy is that?
But when was this? You know?
I don't know. Usually they do say when it was taken. 2022 Microsoft. Oh, that's just probably their overall site. I don't know.
2022 Maxar. All right.
So
We need to investigate some more,
yeah,
I think.
so there might be some dispute going on. We won't need to see like trackside. Is this real? All right. We have a couple more. We got to kind of wrap up the show, so let's try and get through them. Okay, so
This is
can pause it. You
specifically
can
for
pause this.
Skylar.
So this is Gary Martin. He just broke 4 minutes in the mile, Jim Ryan's record. Connor Burns also just broke 4 minutes in the mile, and both of them
357.8, 358.8.
He broke it a week before. He lowered his PR. 2 high schoolers breaking 4 minutes in the mile in the same race. Never happened before. And this is at the Hoka Festival of Miles. And then they're just passing out bucket hats like it's 2021. Western States 100. Like, it's nighttime on a track, bucket hats. Why?
Fashion.
Clearly. Yeah. But I'm curious, like, what was it because of Jim and what he's doing in ultra running, why it's become a phenomenon, or is there something else going on? Where's the decision being made? I'm so curious about this.
My guess.
Yes.
They sold all of their bucket hats so fast when Jim won Western that they thought, we should do bucket hats. And they made new bucket hats and said, let's give them to everyone.
I was just thinking, like, what is the fashion trend of 2022 in running? It's the freaking bucket hat. Like, it's going to sweep everything. It's going to go crazy. Where's our bucket hats? Where's the Run Steep bucket hat?
Well, I don't have a Run Steep one,
Oh.
but I may have something else in the works.
Okay, stay tuned. But we also, as we know, Skylar hates the bucket hat.
What do you think the price tag would be to get Skylar in a photo with the bucket hat on?
Never. No.
There's a price for everything.
There's no price.
Everyone has a price.
I don't know.
Skylar, if you see this, let me know what the price is.
I think it's function, and now that Jim has made it trendy, people are realizing how functional the full sun protection is. My 2 cents. Now we're at the segment that I was most excited about.
All right.
The cheese one.
I think I might have seen this.
Oh my God, this is so crazy. This is so out of control.
How do you rate their downhill running
Oh my
form?
God, end over end. Did you see this guy?
Oh
yeah, this is bad. They got like the injuries coming.
That guy broke his ankle, I'm pretty sure. And then in this next one,
Are we allowed to even show that?
I'm gonna hover over. We had a U.S. person take the win in this next one, so I'll kind of hover the mouse over where she's at.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is a woman. The woman one. Oh, I saw this. She went end over end like 17 times and took the W. Okay.
Here she is. Look at her go. Look at her go.
That's how you win. Look at her go, dude.
But look how much wasted distance. You gotta go straight down. Look at the girl coming on. Yes. Shout out to North Carolina.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Wow.
She was a proud North Carolinian too.
So yeah, this happens every year, and Bryce is the one who found this, that it just so happened to have taken place this last weekend. So the slow-mo stuff is great. Look at this guy. Look at this.
600 years is how long they think this thing has been going.
Oh, is this the official thrower right here? She's about to send it. Oh my God. Oh, that was her.
That's her.
That was her strategy going in. Like, no doubt about it.
I think she was using elbows when she was rolling at the start. She was kind of like, and then towards the end, it was just smacking her head.
Oh, that was definitely a broken ankle.
Oh man.
Gosh. 1 to 2 gradient is what they're calling it. What was that a 45-degree angle?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh man. That was great.
Yep. 600 years old.
Love it.
Oh man.
I think that's actually all we have.
Yeah, there's some. If you want to search for the cheese rolling 2022, there's some great slow motion montages. Just go check it out. So, let's do maybe like a minute of Q&A. But I do have to get going, and I know you have to get going. So, that was fun. I love this segment at the end. That's going to be a keeper.
I'm crying from laughing so hard. The instant reaction is what gets you.
Yes.
Only have a couple more here. Let's see. Oh, some people talking about the cruise ship and their theory on it.
We might have to go deeper on that one. That might have to be coming back next week once we look into it more. And the little trees, man.
Will we ever see Nick Curry on the starting line at Western States?
I would think we would at some point. I mean, he's the guy that if he focused on going after a golden ticket, he would get one. There's no doubt in my mind. That's all I got.
No, I agree. Not only because he is talented enough to get a golden ticket, but he also recovers so quickly that he could run every race.
Probably.
Black Canyon 2023, maybe.
One recommendation for the segment name, Ratchet Runners.
Oh, God. Okay, we'll ruminate on that.
The cheese roll is a 60 to 120 degree slope. So I guess 60 is the most gradual that it is. 120 degrees, does that even make sense?
That's like beyond.
That's like negative.
90 degree would be. That'd be vertical? I don't know, man. 120 degree slope.
It's steep.
Whew. We'll get back to you.
Corey Reese did a 100-miler on a cruise ship a few years ago.
Oh, that's right. I think he did have some good stuff. We'll look that up next week. That'll be great. Awesome. Well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, do we want to tease next week's show?
Yeah, let's tease it. What do you got?
We're going to have a nice little Broken Arrow preview. Maybe we don't know what all we'll have in store, but we'll be talking all things Broken Arrow next week.
Yep, Broken Arrow Sky Race. They've got 5 different races now, I think, happening over a few days. A lot of people will be there in the lead up to Western States. I'll be heading out there, so we'll have a lot to talk about, and we look forward to it.
Awesome.
Sweet. This has been Aravaipa Trail Talk. We'll see you next week. Again, in the comments, let us know what you liked about the format, if you liked it, and hope to see you next week.